All right, y'all, we ready. Um, you guys have got to understand that I don't want to take these people out of context. I don't want to take this person out of context. I want you to hear the entire conversation, and I'm going to pause it at certain points. So that way you can hear this stuff yourself. And after you hear it yourself, you can be like, wait, hold on a second. Did that really happen? Yeah, this dude lies a lot about everything. And I'm going to tell you what his overall plan is, even though he doesn't. And you need to understand the Bravo Alpha November is in full swing within the Manosphere. They did not come here to make men better. They came here to negotiate with the wrong type of woman. That's what they came here for, which isn't a problem. But I don't think everybody knew that that's what these people actually thought. So what we gonna do? What's going on, Brandon Baxter? What's going on, Lil Rock? What's going on, the Gone, Bruce Ellison, LOM, D1 Holds, John Clark, break the cycle. Make sure y'all hit the like button upon coming in. I was caught up on some business earlier with the state police fucking with people because that's what their job is. So not a big deal. I just told them to write me a whole bunch of tickets and just let your boy get up out of here. Get a lawyer, fight all the shit, it get released. That's what happens. When you got your money together, you don't worry about what the police are doing. You just go sit your ass in the back of their car with my tablet, handling other business while they go give this container that they want to write some shit up on the once over. Not a big deal. So let's go. Now, this is a very stupid individual called The Art of It More Enraged. This is his channel. Again, these questionable Itmore dudes. Another questionable. No, you can't sue them for that. You actually you no that bro. Listen, any state police can pull you over for any reason and hold your ass for up to like 3 hours, even at a way station. It doesn't matter. There's many appointments I lost at like Sam's Club and Costco. People don't play games with their actual appointments, and I just got to wait a whole another week for the actual scheduling appointment. Ain't shit you can do with that. Just come with the territory. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play part of this stream. This is Arta Itmore, a very stupid individual. Arta Itmore enraged. Another fake street guy who sold dope back in the day, maybe have child support issues, but that's why these dudes came here to the Manosphere. They came here to to drag most productive men down to the baseline level, so that way we could talk about women, so that way they could be included in the conversation. So another Itmore guy who's nothing but just doubling as a street guy, incredibly stupid. Incredibly stupid people jump up on this panel for whatever fucking reason. But you need to understand what these people actually think. Because I don't think that any man at this juncture is that worried about child support. If you are that worried about child support, then you should be actually organizing behind that issue with other people. But it's not an issue that anybody else cares about. Like nobody is that worried about feminism if you got your shit straight. You just go find different people to go mess with. This is why I want these women to just take these dudes' heads off, so that way we can be able to know the type of man that we don't need to be messing with. The type of men who complain about women giving up their own power just so that way they can hand it over to their dumb ass. Dude, that's never gonna happen. Oh, of course they would block you. Why don't you ask them legitimate questions, man? Bro, listen, man, they get your ass up out of there pretty quick. But you need to understand that. So I'm gonna play the conversation from beginning to end, so that way people can know that you actually think you're on these people's side. Wait till you hit the third rail of having your own standards and wanting to leave problematic women alone, and you see quickly how you're really not a part of a group like that. You're really not. But I'm gonna play this from the beginning to end. I'm gonna stop it at certain places, so that way you can have it sink in what this actual old 60-year-old man is actually talking about. So without further ado, we're just going to keep this going. I think it's 45 minutes. So
when he was talking about, him and my mother. And he was saying that, when him and my mother were living together, they were pressured by my family for him to marry my mother because it was looked down upon for him to be living with a woman and not be married to her.
Yeah,
and he said that to me. He said it's not like it is today, where you can go live with a woman and no one's actually saying anything to you. It's like if you
hey, now this statement I actually agree with, and he is correct. Back in the day, they didn't want you just living with a woman, having all this sexual access, and you wasn't taking care of no kids and no responsibilities. They thought that was a pretty dumbass deal for the woman. And actually, most men who actually cared about women back then actually wanted the individual to like seal the deal. You know, if you already in the house, you better be taking care of some responsibilities. And if you're not taking care of no responsibilities, then you're gonna have to get up out of here. What is your intentions with this woman if you're not trying to marry her or take care of no responsibilities? You just want to lay around, have sex, and create problems that don't need to be created. What's going on, Complex Design? What's going on, Ron? Son? So he is correct on that, at least.
you're gonna live with that woman, you need to marry her.
There's a song in the 1970s called by the Whisperers. I think it's mid 70s called "Living Together in Sin." Okay.
Yeah, that's how they looked at it. It's like you just look
very today is very different than when I was coming up. Basically, women because because birth control even in the 70s was harder to get until the 1980s. Even younger women, right? They're really protective of their wombs. Okay.
Even my mother, when my sister was living with a guy, my mother would tell my sister.
Now, the reason why I'm starting the conversation here is so that way we know that these individuals know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing. So what they're doing isn't a mistake at all. It's on purpose for what they're about to defend later on. So it's not like they don't understand what's going on, Gold Professor. But I wanted to start the conversation here to let you know that these people know that they got sense, right? And they know what's going on. So when this thing take the turn that it's going to take, keep in mind that these people know that they're doing this stuff on purpose.
That you don't need to be having a guy living in that house with your kids. If he ain't married to you, he don't need to be living there. And she told her that in the 2000s. And my mother was like, so my parents were old school. Just my parents is older than BGS by a couple of years.
Yeah.
So they lived through that. That expectation of what they should be doing was still there.
Basically, and this is coming from a boomer, right? Or even a younger boomer. You know how hard pussy was to get in the 1970s, 1980s. You could not know a chick 2 weeks and fuck her.
Boom. You see this? You know how pussy was to get, how hard it was to get in the 70s and 80s. This is where this dude grew up at. He was locked out of the sexual market because he didn't have his fucking shit together. So this dude is not dumb. He understands how the system was before. It's called Brownsburg. So he ain't stupid. But they about to play stupid. Even though they understand exactly how the system worked, it was far better than what it was. It took a whole bunch of weak ass men to give these women whatever they want to change the system into what it is right now.
Okay, for the most part. You gotta put in some months. Okay. Why you think what's his name? The guy that online talks about relationships. What's his name? With the mustache? The 90-day rule?
Yeah.
That's where the 90-day rule comes in. Okay. Gotta know before you even lay down with a guy, you gotta know
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
Is this Charles the loser?
No, this is Negro, the most powerful Negro in the universe. Your bitch.
Negro.
So what I'm saying is, if you talk about dating and mating, and you don't include the birth control and abortion, Okay, they really changed. It caused the sexual revolution, and you're missing out on a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, the second biggest change really was the internet. Okay, this actually really blew the whole thing out of the water.
All right, let me
Okay, all right. So let's stop right here. These individuals know what happened the moment women started being liberated from their actual lack of responsibility for choice. That's when you should have left these women the fuck alone. That's when you should have left it alone. So they're not stupid. They understand the history. They understand the history quite nicely. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. So you got the whole Bravo Alpha November crew up here. The whole crew, except for Zula Gullah, who's going to realize that he's really not a part of this group in a little while.
I just can't give birth control that much credit when I've seen what happened.
let me
I
explain
just
something to
can't.
you.
There
Let
is
me
no
explain
feminism without birth control.
See, the problem is that they want to blame birth control and feminism and all this shit when you should be just be choosing another woman that don't have those type of backgrounds. And yes, you're gonna have your stuff together in order to get access to that type of woman. That's what exactly what's going to happen. You're not going to bypass the productivity piece if the woman has got some culture to her. You're going to have to put some work in. There ain't no man on the planet who cares about his daughter who's going to let some dumbass dude be around his daughter and impregnate him. So we all know how this stuff works, man. But now they want to put the onus on birth control and feminism when the actual onus should have been on better choices. If you knew that these people were in high regard of messing up, it should have been very easy to leave them alone. Remember, you claim everybody's on this stuff. So why would you be very indiscriminate about just dealing with people just to be having them as your sexual dinner plate? Like it doesn't make any sense. These things come with consequences. Let's keep going.
Control, sir.
let me explain to you
I
this.
tell you, you seen what happened in the '80s though. You seen that's where most
I
of
was
you.
I was a 20.
No,
I turned 21 in the 80s. Yes, I know.
That's
let,
where most. That was the
let,
first. That's the first and second wave of single mothers and all that stuff. You know,
No, it
let me
teen
wasn't.
pregnancy.
explain
No, it
this.
wasn't.
No,
No,
it
it wasn't.
wasn't.
Let me explain this.
Okay.
What happened between the
Okay, let's stop right here because we about to have a whole bunch of gaslighting that goes on because you got a bunch of stupid ass people on the panel who don't know how to do math. Zula Gullah simply said that's when the first and second wave of single mothers happened. Okay? Then you're about to have people do the exact math that he's actually talking about, and then they're going to pretend like he didn't say what he just said. Because remember, you outnumbered 6-1 Bravo style. So you're about to see that this guy literally said exactly what they're trying to explain back to him.
No,
between
we
the dump
covered this. That's how we know. Like
between
we
the dump?
covered these
Can
stats.
y'all hear me?
Sorry, Charles.
Yeah, we
Hold
can
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
The
do.
whole
Yeah,
time.
one at a time.
Hold
One
on
at a time, guys.
a second, Charles. You know what the biggest percentage of uptick of single mothers was? What years, sir? The biggest uptick? It's on the chart. It's actually between 1960 and 1970. That's the biggest uptick of increase of single motherhood. Okay, it's never looked back.
Okay, let's stop right here. Since this dumb old ass motherfucker just said that that guy didn't know what he was talking about, and then they parroted the fact that okay, let's say if you was born in the 1960s, that means if you're 15, 16 years old, your ass is gonna be having kids in the 1970s. Let's say you're even later 60s, you're gonna be having your kids in the early 1980s. So when Zula Gullah said that yes, between the first and second rounds of single mothers, he was not wrong. He was not wrong. So BGS just took his point and parried it back to him, trying to make him look like he's wrong when he said everything right. It's crazy.
Well, that's the biggest
Shout
uptick.
out to the Kerner Commission.
The Kerner Commission. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just did a chart, because me and Amir were actually arguing about it. That's it was it between 1960 and 1970? It was a 97% increase in single motherhood.
Go ahead, Charles.
Let me explain this, and this is the reason why the birth control pill was so significant. There was a heavy penance if you had to go around and you slept with anybody you wanted to because somebody had to take care of that baby.
Mm-hmm.
There was a high probability of you having sex, you got pregnant, and you're stuck with it. You're what they call in modern Asia leftover women at that point. Do you know what would happen if you got pregnant by somebody unwed? You usually worked in the brothels.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a heavy
Well, that's not necessarily true. If you had a kid out of wedlock, you was not like sent off to a brothel. That's not true. That's not true. What they did is that's what the shotgun wedding shit was about. They made you go over there and marry that dude who actually created this kid. We did the shit in the South. That's what the shotgun weddings were about. It was more like 38 special weddings, but you get the point. We're gonna go find out who this individual is, and we're gonna make him take care of this kid. Y'all about to get married in the backyard, like right now. Okay, so now all these people know that this is what happened before. So there's really no reason to keep expecting women to give up the power that they actually got. We understand how we got here. Yeah, shotgun wedding. My grandfather wasn't a shotgun guy. He was more of a handgun guy. He was a 38 special guy. So there was a 38 special wedding for ours.
penance. When you took away that heavy penance and responsibility from women and you let them be able to do something that this is the funniest part that I'm gonna get to. Women talk about a patriarchy, but they got more laws in their favor than us.
Mm-hmm.
Go fucking figure. We can't make
Okay, let's stop right here. If you know all this stuff is wrong and the problem, just go find different people to deal with. That's it. See, the problem is that the women knew the weak men were going to come up to the rim of the boil, and those were the men that they was going to be able to deal with. Because once they started being liberated from their actual choices, the weak ass men were going to be the men who was going to do anything for sexual access. That's how that happened. Oh yeah. Nah, if he wanted you up out of here, you got the 38 special. But he was a Kane guy. Yeah, man. He was Big Daddy Kane, man.
you take an abortion, but you can make us a father anytime you feel like it. Even if we never had sex with you. So when people talk about this, oh, well, one is the laws.
Well, that's not all the way true. It's still a state by state basis. There's states where you can't do that. But I do get his point. But at the end of the day, you still had to have some access to this woman in order to be able to be put up on some stuff like that. Like most of these people who are on child support and they didn't or they weren't there, they still had relations with this type of individual who would do that. So I don't buy that.
Two is the abortion. Three is the pill. When those shits combined and made Captain Planet and fucked over men, that's when shit started to turn. Fuck all the single motherisms. That's when the shit really get. When a woman can be legally alleviated from her fucking responsibilities, that's when shit got fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily. If you chose to not deal with these type of women and that was a cultural standard, we wouldn't be in this problem in the first place. We should have been knocking the blocks off of pro blacks back then who wanted people to take care of these responsibilities. We should set a very clear track record. Nobody mess with this individual. And if we catch you messing with this individual, we gon' get you up out of here. If not her too. I say you leave the women out there. You see the type of men who still want to actually deal with the type of women that are out there. But most of these dudes went from, as BGS said, it was hard as shit to get a piece of ass. Then all of a sudden, once the consequences start not being with the woman, they started exalting the woman within the environment itself. You expect her to turn down all this lack of responsibility and infinite dick? Are you out of your fucking mind? You wouldn't turn down that lack of responsibility and infinite access to sex. I know you wouldn't. Listen, I don't mind putting myself in somebody else's shoes, man. I don't mind because I need to know what people think. Like when I was in Germany, yes, people had infinite access to sex, and they would rather work at UPS and bring their ass back to the States to get a career. If they could be able to live over there and do those type of things, there ain't no way you're gonna be able to do this stuff.
Have you ever read this piece called the
with a woman, and no one's actually
single mothers was what years, sir?
Well, so let me go back for it.
Be able to do something that this is the funniest part that I'm gonna get to. Women talk about a patriarchy, but they got more laws in their favor than us.
Mm-hmm.
Go fucking figure. We can't make you take an.
Listen, women don't talk about patriarchy. Dudes who want to settle for these women talk about patriarchy. Like there was this big grand patriarchy before, and if it wasn't for that meddling feminism, they would be able to have a woman cook and clean for them. Stop this shit. Ain't no women talking about no fucking patriarchy around here. It's men who are doing that.
Abortion, but you can make us a father anytime you feel like it. Mm-hmm. Even if we never had sex with you. So when people talk about this, oh, well, 1 is the laws, 2 is the abortion, 3 is the pill. When those shits combined and made Captain Planet and fucked over men, that's when shit started to turn. Fuck all the single motherisms. That's when the shit really get. When a woman can be legally alleviated from her fucking responsibilities, that's when shit got fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not and it's not even about. It's not even about. And I'm listening in what you were saying. I'm like, dude, that birth control pill and that abortion really fucked women's heads up. And the internet, a lot of women actually had to succumb to the fact that they weren't 10s. Did you notice in recent history, all these bitches came up with body shaming? You know why? Because a lot of them are not attractive anymore.
Okay, let's stop right here. You don't need to be attractive if you got infinite access to dick. If you get the end goal of working out and keeping yourself in shape, why would you work out? Why would you do any of that shit? Why would you do any of that? Why would you do any of that? Why would you do any of that? Listen, if a man can walk around, not be productive, not give a damn about how he looks, and still get access to tens, regardless of how they looks and regardless of how they produce, and they still get access to the best women on the planet, what motivation is there to actually compete if you're getting the end goal of highly competing without even any effort? Y'all got to understand this, man. Like, bro, listen. They want the same rights that the women got. That's what this is. They want the same rights as the women. No, you have to work to get choices. They've been given choice. You have to work to get choice, and you have to manage choice appropriately. And here's the thing: you can still manage your choices appropriately, and you can still get screwed over in this environment. You sure can.
If you want to look at the 80s, how many big girls did you see then compared to now?
Sure, I remember the damn videos talking about they're burning their bras in the 60s.
Yeah,
and you know that's a symbol of sexual revolution. That's when you had your sexual revolution, when women were free to have sex whenever they wanted to.
Yeah, and then they want. And think about it: you got dudes who go to court, and they found out through through DNA testing they're not the biological father, and they still got to pay. Like when people, it's funny when people come to the spaces and be like, "Well, we're mad at the."
Okay, so you have to understand these things are anomalies. They don't happen to a lot of people. You can't name anybody in the manosphere who's in one of these type of positions where the kid ain't theirs and they have to still pay for the child. You have to understand that most of these things that these people bring up, they're not happening to everybody on the one-to-one basis. They're not even happening in an anomaly. Because you would be able to point to the person like, oh, okay, that person was on the panel. They have to pay for a kid that ain't theirs. Dude, like none of this stuff is even happening, man. But they leverage the worst type of circumstances and they broad brush it across the manosphere as if everybody here is going through that. That's not what's happening. It just isn't.
PUAs. There's a lot of guys who, unfortunately, they have to learn how to talk to women. They have built up a fear of women.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is about to get good because you just seen everything that they just said. Now the problem is going to turn into the men are scared to engage with the women. Remember, you just brought up all the consequences of dealing with the wrong type of person. So yes, men are supposed to have some sort of apprehension when dealing with some group of people among these people. But watch how the conversation flips to them knowing the history and knowing how we got here to them not knowing the history and not knowing how we got here.
Thank you for growing up in a single mother home. And
we tried to talk to their mom and got the shit slapped out of them. They were fucked.
Yeah, well,
no, I mean, it's not even that. It's Mama told you the lies that nobody believed.
Yeah, the argument that I want to hear more is which are the good ones and which are the bad ones. You know, shout out to Ron Wills.
Yeah, like whenever you hear a dumb nigga shout out Ron Wills, you know that dude's a piece of shit. End of the fucking story. Ain't nobody going to Ron Wills for a motherfucking thing. Not getting a body right. You got fucking fitness channels for that. His channel is about getting your body together and feeding yourself right back to the same fucking bitch that you shouldn't even be fucking with in the first place. Everything is about leveraging these people's ability to be with the same type of women that they just got through fucking complaining about.
You know, Glenn and Cameron technically not in that, but shout like the in
Look at the men they look up to: Glendon Cameron, Ron Wills.
the space. So really, he don't even talk about that like that no more. So shout out to Ron. Let's see, Ron Wills, Alan Roger Curry, rest in.
Where are the productive men in the conversation at? They're nowhere near these motherfuckers. Nowhere near them. But they always want to leverage dudes who have these stories about these mythical women that they have access to that they never suffered the consequences of.
In peace. I think every black dude should have his book. Everybody doesn't like Cephas Cole. I like Cephas Cole because I think he's good for the younger folks, and he definitely promotes working out.
What the fuck does this have to do with the productivity piece? It's like, listen, they want to be able to work their way into shit. They don't want to be able to produce for the actual fucking women. They just want to work out and practice game and be on some stupid shit and get access to a woman that's gonna tear their ass out the fucking frame. Because this shit is all about the fucking women, man. It's not about getting your shit together. It never has been.
Without the PUAs, you wouldn't have a manosphere.
Yeah. So, but the thing is,
Let's go back. Let's go back. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Let's go back. Remember the title and the name of the live stream.
is a lot of y'all got to understand what y'all are seeing on YouTube is what the algorithm is showing y'all. This is one of the reasons why I tend to, share a lot of different varieties.
Hold on a second. Let's go back.
Be able to do
because BGS said out of his mouth there would be no Manosphere without the PUAs and dating coaches.
something that this is the funniest part that I'm gonna get to. Yeah, and then they want and think about it. You got dudes who go to court and they found out through DNA testing they're not the biological father and they still gotta pay. Like when people, it's funny when people come to the spaces and be like, well,
I mean, so according to Charles Faulkner, He just named all the shit that these women go through. All of these, all the shit that these women put men through. Then he turns around and just say, look at all these consequences. And then BGS say you wouldn't have a manosphere without PUAs. No, there wouldn't be Manosphere 2.0 without PUAs and dating coaches. These are people that y'all brought here. Y'all brought these people here to sabotage the actual movement, to make the conversation be about women and nothing really much the hell else. So when you have this person around, just ask him to do a whole live stream, about why there would be no Manosphere without PUAs and dating coaches. That's the live stream that I want to hear from that guy.
Oh, we're mad at the PUAs. There's a lot of guys who, unfortunately, they have to learn how to talk to women. They have built up a fear of women. Thank you for growing up in a single mother home.
What? How can you have a fear of women when you just gave them all the consequences of dealing with women? You just gave them all the consequences. They see what's going on. They see who they've been raised by. You mean to tell me that they're not supposed to have a fear of that? What?
And
They tried to talk to their mom and got the shit slapped out of them. They were fucked.
Yeah,
no,
well,
I mean, it's not even that. It's Mama told you the lies that nobody believed.
Yeah, the argument that I want to hear more is which are the good ones and which are the bad ones. You know, shout out to Ron Wills. You know, Glenn and Cameron technically not in that, but shout like the in the space. So really, he don't even talk about that like that no more. So shout out to Ron. Let's see, Ron Wills, Alan Roger Curry, rest in peace. I think every black dude should have his book. Everybody doesn't like Cephas Cole. I like Cephas Cole because I think he's good for the younger folks, and he definitely promotes working out.
Without the PUAs, you wouldn't have a manosphere.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, and like I said, the problem is you have, like I said before, you got.
Without the PUAs, you wouldn't have a manosphere. Unbelievable.
You got dudes that. Well, the other thing too is a lot of y'all got to understand what y'all are seeing on YouTube is what the algorithm is showing y'all. This is one of the reasons why I tend to, share a lot of different variety of channels, you know, as far as shouting them out. So people see it's bigger than what the algorithm is just showing y'all. And I know I'm not saying everybody don't see different stuff, but sometimes the way these arguments manifest in this space, because the argument you're making is an argument that has been made a lot, is it's always something this or something that is too much. It's like, is it that folks are seeing this too much or what? But really, ultimately, people are watching that shit. Nigga, Fresh and Fit don't have game, but people are buying their shit. So am I?
So here's the thing. Whenever you hear a black individual, black man, justify bullshit and hoe shit, you know there's a problem. Nobody actually thinks Fresh and Fit has done anything for men. The only reason why Fresh and Fit is a thing because men don't have experience with women. And they look at that stuff as confirmation bias. If you gave these dudes access to actual women, there would be no Fresh and Fit. There's no Fresh and Fit of like Europe. There's no Fresh and Fit in like England. There is none of that. The only thing that actually fits in with that is for the simple fact those people don't have any experience. And this is the closest thing to experience how it can never happen. No. The people who want to be out of pocket while traveling want to complain about women. That's what that is. And you know who they are. And you know what they came here for. Thank you for taking everybody off of our hands. Just like, look, when Kevin Samuels busted onto the scene, most of these dudes wanted to hear him talk about women. Talk about women and talk to women. This is what these dumbass individuals thought that was so good and so cool. Hey, leave them out there, leave them over there. Don't chase after those guys that you don't want to be around. Clearly, if they want to find a reason to take their ass back into this burning building, leave them out there. Of course, there was none of that in 1.0. That's why BGS spends most of his time denying that 1.0 even existed.
I'm gonna blame Fresh and Fit for selling it, and they're not complaining about what they're buying. By the way, literally,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that it's bullshit. It doesn't matter that it don't fucking work. Cause see, to a black male sociopath, the fact that you're making money off bullshit, that's the position they want to be in. It doesn't matter the efficacy of those actual products. Doesn't matter about the efficacy of those products. As long as they popular, like this is what the black male sociopath don't get. There's always some get the bag shit that always short circuits actual responsibility. And they have the nerve to claim that they're conservative by while keeping up all this liberal ass shit. It don't make any sense. Okay, show me your $1 million clients. Show me a dude who raised his son in a two-parent household where that guy has power within that household. Show me that man who turned his kid over to go listen to Fresh and Fit or trust their son to actually go buy Fresh and Fit's fucking products. You would never hear that shit.
Yeah,
what
well,
Fresh literally has a fucking course about text message game that people buy, and they're not comparing no reviews talk about this is bullshit and shit like that. So at that point, what are you gonna say? They are deciding to buy the shit. It's capitalism.
well, Edward, you as an individual and me as an individual,
Okay, here comes the distinction. Once this person makes a distinction, watch how the panel treats them. Now, given everything that Edward just said, he's about to get pushed back, and watch how the panel treats Zulu Gullah.
our brains think a certain way where we can look at some stuff and analyze it and get the scope of it and then determine is it useful for us or not. What I'm telling you guys is like just I may not get every little detail of who does what, this and that. I would get the overall majority of the content that's floating around, and I can look at it and I can apply common sense to it, and then I can just make a decision for myself. And my decision was like the majority of the shit is some garbage. I don't even understand why guys can't fathom that in the direction in which women have been moving, that it is pointless to have a conversation with them, engage them, or worry about them. And along with everything that comes with them, from the laws to everything else, you have to bypass them and find other avenues for
Yeah.
yourself.
Okay, he just shut down the
And that's why
That's the power. That I
Where,
get it.
where,
That's the power. That
Hold on a second. Let me see what just happened here. No, the sound's still there. Hold on a second. What the fuck? Hold on a second. I can't hear this shit either. Fuck. I want to be around shit that works. Oh.
that's the power of the socialization.
What the fuck? Hold on. I'm trying to fix this. I'm not sure what the fuck just happened. Yeah, I know. I don't know what the fuck happened, man. This shit was working just fine, then all of a sudden my headset disconnected, and all of a sudden this bullshit happens. What in the fuck, man? Virtual input. Fuck. What's going on, Red Spice? Hold on. Let me take a picture. Let me look at these inputs. Let's see if this works.
Station,
where?
sir.
Hold on a second. Fuck. Now I can't even hear myself. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah, it keeps changing to shit that I don't want it to change it to. Power out. Power out. Hold on a second. Not really. No, it's not really a battle room, man. Oh, you could hear the audio. Okay, all right. Well, it must be on my end again. All right. So I'll continue playing it.
I
Well,
mean, you literally got niggas talking about women can. And this is not obviously majority, and this is an exaggerated example, but you literally got niggas where a woman can kill their kids, can kill their girls, and there's been news like the nigga was literally on the news talking about she a good mom. That's happened a couple of times. The chip is that strong. And a lot of
Yeah,
niggas will hear what you saying and they'll say, well, they'll make the assumption you must be a lame. Because if your game was tight, then you would make these chicks. You would be able to coach it. But and like you said, you said you were
you
formed
think
street
I
dude,
give
so
a
you
fuck
already
about
know how
them
goofy
niggas,
that
yo?
is.
I don't give a fuck about them niggas or these bitches.
I'm not saying you
Whoa,
are
whoa,
too.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Hold
whoa,
on.
whoa, 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 whoa.
This is
That's
the
what I'm
problem.
saying, though.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
It's not directed at
Hey,
anybody. That's my
hey,
mentality.
hey, hey, hey.
Hold on. I understand, but this is the problem. There are very, very few true red pill people in this space. Most people in this space are either purple pill or blue pill. A lot of people are just on the fence and they're just upset about the circumstances they're in. But like we always said in this space, a lot of people are just one blowjob fucking away. Even on the MGTOW side, there are just there are a lot of MGTOW people that were MGTOW as hell, and then as soon as they got a girlfriend, they stop making content. As soon as they got a fucking girlfriend, they stop making.
Okay, why does this matter? How come you can't mind your own goddamn business? I never understood this argument.
Making content because they were so in fucking love. There's
See that? You see that? In 1970, a permanent cure to poverty in America seemed on the horizon. Federal poverty wars appeared to be gaining ground, and decisions by the state courts regarding abortion and by state legislators regarding availability of contraception seemed to be giving the millions of poor families tools to control the number and timing of their children. Okay, 1970. Okay. That caused the increase of out of wedlock births. Okay,
Yeah,
you know.
well, like I said, BGS, like I said,
Uh-huh.
that was the first or second wave of single mothers. So you just broke down the first wave.
Yeah,
All right. So I mean that little
this is the second wave. Okay, you really want to know why there was also the big rash of out of wedlock births, especially in the black community. First, it's called welfare. Okay, because you were not legally
I remember
tied.
that. I
Hold
remember that
on, man.
part.
You're not legally tied to the man, right? The second
Right.
thing is 1973 when they eliminated illegitimate childhood. Okay,
mm-hmm.
where you could have where any woman could have the claim to the father's wealth without being married. Okay. The second thing, then the last thing is what? No fault divorce.
Shout out to Ronald Reagan.
So in other words, that is the current environment that we're living in now. It all starts from there. It's not rocket science.
And before anybody starts, second, I want to read my cash outs real quick.
Go ahead, read your cash outs. Because I want to know how he figures that the dating coaches have ruined the Manosphere. I want to know that. I ain't heard that one yet.
Memphis O Gun, appreciate you. Come on. MJ, appreciate you. Let's see. Keeps going back up. Jay Maddox, appreciate you. Except for the drinks. I'm not even drinking tonight. That's fucked up. Jay Butler, he says for one plus paying for. So he did a $2 holler.
Okay, $2. Okay.
$2. Childs, he had Dusty Nuts, aka Shocks. Appreciate you. Let's see. Did that one. No one. Appreciate you. $2 holler. $2 holler. Ray June. Appreciate you. $1 holler for the Ray June. Thermocat. BGS tax. Appreciate you.
What's up? That's
and
what's up.
Bellamy. He says the $5 holler. $5 holler. All right. I think that's it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to know why does he think, in his opinion, why the dating coaches have ruined the Manosphere when they actually were founders of the Manosphere, part of the founders of the Manosphere.
All right. So first things first, right? you have to look at what is the goal of a dating coach, okay, and then look at the different dating coaches and their different biographies. One of the things that I did was I started doing math and timelines based upon certain dating coaches being married. And you being married 20, 30 years, you're only about 40 something, 50 something years old. You are teaching dating in an aspect like you played the field. You've been in the field like you've dealt with an array of women, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And the story doesn't add up because you've been married longer than you've been dating.
Now you gotta go back and make that math add up, man, because I'm not understanding. I'm not following you. Make it make
So,
sense.
Yeah, that don't.
so you got married in your early 20s,
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
in your late 40s and 50s now, and you talking about how you just dated and dated and dated. And we know mathematically,
Oh,
younger
okay. Oh,
men
oh, oh, okay.
don't have
Okay.
the
Hold on.
finances
Hold
to
on.
date like
Hold, hold on a second.
that.
To go back over that again. In other words, or were they dating while
One
they're
more
married?
time.
Were they dating while they're married? Okay, or they didn't get
Correct,
married
correct.
later?
Did you hear what I said though?
No,
They're
no, no,
talking
no,
like they played the field. They're putting a message out there like they played the field with
no, no,
different women to have
so
insight on.
Let us educate you on what the Gish Gallop fallacy is. So that way you'll know this when you always see it. So when you see a bunch of Bravo Alpha Novembers who get up on a panel, because it's very simple once you're outnumbered, that they're not going to allow you to have a conversation. Hold on a second. Present, share, window. Oh, Chrome tab. All right. The Gish Gallop fallacy. The Gish Gallop is a rhetorical technique in which a person in a debate attempts to overwhelm their opponent by providing an excessive number of arguments with no regard of accuracy or strength of those arguments. That's what you have going on here. That's what's about to happen. They're not going to let him speak. They're going to talk him down. They're going to pretend like he didn't say what he was saying. But you have to understand that these people all started off the actual argument with knowing exactly how the situation went down. So let's go forward and see how they went from understanding everything to just being here, where they are.
we're trying to help you. We're trying to get you to organize your thoughts and make sense because we're not understanding you. Let's take it one. Let's start with your overall point. Okay, what's your overall point? Let's get that clear.
Okay.
What's your overall point? Let's start with that, and then we'll work backwards. We're gonna give you
It
time.
doesn't work. It doesn't work, and these guys aren't talking in current
Why
in terms.
doesn't it work?
Okay, you see the result. You see the result. Do you see the
Okay.
results? The hookup culture,
Okay.
divorce is high. It doesn't lead to marriage. The marriage laws are no good anyway. So what's the purpose? Why are they teaching this shit? They need to
Right.
change.
The question is, why are they teaching this, right? So is the dating coaches causing this, or they're responding to it?
So
How they
Both.
causing it?
Okay, how are they causing it?
okay, they're causing it because they're not being constantly involved in the evolution of the message and what the reality of it is, and making sure they're keeping it with safeguards. And they're also in response to the fact that, again, when the passport bros came on the scene, they changed the game. When you opt out, you change the money market
So no,
for
okay.
everybody.
That doesn't make sense, man.
Let's take
It doesn't make sense because they responded to it.
No, it's not.
Zulu.
No, it's
Let's
not.
let's
They're
let's
responding to the
That's
environment.
they're responding to the passport bros. They didn't cause passport bros. They're responding to it.
I didn't say they caused
I'm
passport bros. I said the passport bros caused them to respond, just like the
gonna
women.
say this. I'm gonna say this, Zulu. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I'm
needs
trying
work.
to. I'm really gonna tell you this. What you said was the equivalent of that Phil Jackson would not be a good coach because he didn't play in modern basketball game.
Okay, somebody prove to me positive results. Somebody prove to me
Number
positive
one,
results.
Well,
number one. Here's hookup culture, right? Hookup culture. They're
Okay,
not in the interest of getting people married. It's to hook up and get the courage to talk to women. Two, if you're getting into a hookup culture
Hold
and
on,
they
Zulu.
because there's some people who need to be schooled on female behavior because once again, lack of fathers in home. So if there's
got him.
Morgan. Yeah.
But
Okay.
I mean, dating coaches have been around for a long time. They just became popular, extremely popular in the 2000s.
some
really in
results.
the 90s, in the
Oh,
90s.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is for most dating coaches? What is the object of them teaching game or dating? Right.
well, they claim to be teaching game, but yeah,
Okay.
it's
What is
you
it?
got
They're
different
they're,
levels
they're
of
teaching.
game. And you got that bullshit game and actual.
Okay. Number one, what we're not going to do is use condescending language. Actually be fair, right? What is the object of them teaching what they teach? Okay. What are they trying to teach? What are they trying to teach?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But-
Anyway.
I got
For
my daughter. I got my. Hold on a second. Hold on.
for the most part, for what I've seen, what they try to teach guys to be more confident about themselves when it comes
confident
to
and
confident and
socially,
be more
and socially,
be
social, and learn how to have the courage to get over what's the biggest
the
impediment
fear of
to
rejection.
fear of rejection, right? Get over the fear of rejection.
Rejection makes a man out of you.
Yeah.
It's something that a lot of people
Which they have been teaching since the 16th century, the same thing. How to romance, right? Remember romance and all that kind of stuff, courting? That's game. They used to teach that. Game coaches, that's the updated version, responding to the environment.
Yeah. You just got what the women are for that time, and then you'd have to go for that.
You'd have to teach them. You go back to, I forget, go back to the courtiers back in the 14th, 15th, 16th century, right? You had people to teach you how to court, how to court a lady, how to do whatever, right? The dating coaches are not new. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Matchmakers.
But you can't. Again, you can't blend times and when things are done.
Yes, you can.
No, you
Yes,
can't.
you can.
A
Yes, you
dating
can.
coach today is not the same as the people you just spoke of in past time.
Why is that not?
The whole process.
One thing you're not going to do is bogart the mic, right? Why is that? Why are they not the same? Why do you think they're not the same?
Because the whole process and the whole social environment, people's behavior was different.
Thank
You,
you. Thank
yeah,
you. That's
you know
This dude
that.
getting
You know
we're
that.
getting argued
hold
down
on,
You
like a
trying to
horse
link
bitch.
them though.
No.
Zulu. Guess what they're teaching back then, right? How to
Was
approach
the hookup culture back then?
Zulu.
Yes
It's
or
not
no?
about the hookup.
Zulu.
It's not about the hookup code. You stuck on that, man.
Yeah,
It's
Zulu.
No, he brought it up, and I'm using it against him. He brought it up.
You're really
You
bad.
stuck. You're
Yeah,
stuck.
you really.
He's
It's
stuck
not
on the
about-
hookup culture, man. That's not what we're
He's
talking
not
about.
It's not
stuck on
about
hookup
hookup
culture. That's
culture.
stuck on
It's
it.
how to approach
A
women.
woman,
God
women.
damn.
That's all.
Again,
Again,
right?
it's how to
Approaching
approach women.
women.
Approaching
That's
women
all it
is
is.
fine, but
You
these
just-
guys,
Excuse me.
Zulu,
you can't
Hold
say,
on,
you cannot blanket, you cannot
Zulu,
blanket
yes,
all the
you
dating
can.
culture.
It's either
Yes, you
approach
can. Yes,
hoes
you
or get
can. Yes, you
consequences.
can.
That's
Hey,
what
Zulu.
no.
You know some of these dating cultures are garbage.
Do
I
you
know
fight?
some dating
Zulu. Okay, Zulu. Slow down, man. Slow down.
Number
Okay?
one, do you fight
Stop
with
being
the army
combative.
you want, or do you fight with the army you have?
Again.
No,
Again.
Answer the question.
Y'all the one running him over, and you asking
I
him to
am
slow down.
going to answer how
the
I need to
goddamn
answer.
question.
What-
All
no,
the dating cultures are the same.
All right. First of
They
all,
all are not the same. They all have the same message.
whoa. Hold on. Listen, we're not doing that shit. All right. If you are asked a question, you need to answer the question.
I'm answering the question.
No. You not how you want. Just answer the question.
Ask me a valid question, not a riddle.
We're not doing this combative shit today, all right?
Yeah.
Either you're gonna talk to us.
Y'all doing it because all y'all stick together on the
No,
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Listen. This is not a fucking group thing. There are things that me and GGS disagree on. There's things that me and Charles disagree on. It's not that. We're just asking you, if you are asked a question, answer it. That's it.
Okay.
Don't sit here and be like, oh, I'm not going to answer it the way this, that, and the third. Just answer the fucking question.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer a riddle. You want to ask me a question? Ask me a question.
I just asked you a question.
Is this your channel or what, man?
Okay. Here we go with this.
Here we go with this one, right?
You don't like it.
You came to us. We didn't come looking for you.
This is the reason why a lot of you niggas try to come over to our channels and try to teach us something that we knew for years.
Yeah.
And actually did shows
detailed some of you did know
on record.
No, you don't.
I asked you because you knew exactly where the fuck I was going, and you rudely just bogarted and overran my question when I asked you, do you fight with the army you have or the army you want?
I fight with me, man. I'm not into that shit no more.
Here we go.
I'm not. I'm telling you. I'm not BS. I'm not stopping nothing. I fight with me. I told you that earlier.
Here we go,
I told you that earlier. I told you that earlier.
We don't not into ghetto scholars today, man. Okay.
This is not ghetto scholar. I have my own.
Pull it up. Pull up your research. Pull it up.
I have my own personal decision making, so I don't have to be no ghetto scholar. Why do I have to conform to your question to the point where you want to answer you want?
Pull up your research. Pull it up.
This is the problem that I'm having when people are asked a question. They act like they just don't want to fucking answer it. You know,
I did answer. You just don't want my answer. I don't have to choose between neither one of those. I do me.
Right. Well, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Then that's what he means. Just say you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Because
no, I don't care.
Because
no, he doesn't know. You don't know. You don't know, man.
Box me in.
Dude, you don't know.
Hold on.
You do not know what the fuck
Hold
you're
on.
talking about. I can tell that. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, all right. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about. No, you don't.
You don't?
Hold on, guys. Listen, Zulu. We gotta stop this shit as fucking men, especially in this fucking space. You know what the question is.
Yeah, I know what the question is, but I'm not listening. It came to me.
I'm muted.
Go back to your mama.
No, hold on.
Hey, hold on. Let
Go back to your dead daughter, punk.
See, now you go.
He
Because
needs
you
to go,
didn't
man.
want to
You don't know
comply.
what he's talking about.
I'm a,
Okay, that's over. That's over. That's over. As you can see, this dude is here for the downfall of men. He's here for the downfall of men. That dude does not give a damn about anything but failure. Don't you understand if you got to the money, you walked off the field, and you dealt with literally better women, you would be better, way better than this dude? You'd be way better than this dude. Way better. They wouldn't even let him answer the question that they were asking him because they kept interrupting him. Because BGS is a coward and so is everybody up there. They only feel comfortable when they come together as a group and they can't even argue about issues. Because the whole point is to keep the conversation going. The whole point isn't to solve the equation. The dude simply just said, that's y'all. That's the hang up that y'all are on. I'm going to do something different. And that dude didn't even have to bash black women to do it. This dude was like, look, these people are messed up. I'm going to move somewhere else. And this is why I don't want passport bros coming out the mouth or being shared or the everything else to be doing with Bravo Alpha Novembers. Y'all got to stay away all that. Because here's the thing. All this stuff that you did for the women and you didn't get the woman at the end of the day. It doesn't make any sense, man. It's crazy. Every time you look around, and these are older individuals arguing like clowns. That's the problem. These people are not even done wrecking, ruin, and destroying our actual credibility. They want to keep doing it. Hey man, listen. You got to let those dudes who joined the actual passport bros movement and actually try to fight the gender war. Hey man, look, leave them out there. Leave them out there. What's going on, D the Real? Thanks for the 9.99 super chat. Great show. Yeah, thanks, man. But you have to understand, man, like these old ass dudes are everywhere. And they act the same. They do not want to see you move past the deliberate failures that they were actually doing. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see it. There's really no reason at all to get caught up in things that you shouldn't be caught up in. If you don't want to date the women, then don't date them. Don't bring them up. Don't do content on them. Just leave them alone. You don't see me bringing up women and like trying to like make deals and shit. Like, bro, listen, I'm out of that headspace. I know full well that I'm not trying to deal with people who are cultured a certain way. It is culture. As long as you choose for culture and outcomes first, you can dodge all of this stuff. And you could just skip right to getting your money together. You ain't got to deal with this other stuff. That's on them. Let them do that. There is nothing on the planet worse than seeing older men who know better act like this. Man, look, the women gonna keep mowing these dudes down like Sunday morning long grass. Yeah, that's what it is. Hey man, maybe you disagree. Maybe you can come up here. Hey man, look, my links stay dropped, bro. I don't have conversations behind paywalls and shit. You want to jump your ass up here? You jump your ass up here. We can have a conversation about what you just heard. Do you think there would be no manosphere without pickup artists and dating coaches? I want people to come up and explain it. I want you to come up and explain it. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe you could come up here and correct me. Maybe you could tell me about the history of the manosphere. You just heard it out of your master teacher's mouth. There would be no manosphere without dating coaches and actual PUAs. Actually, in a way, BGS Itmore is actually correct. There would be no future for him inside the manosphere without PUAs and dating coaches. Because PUAs and dating coaches give you ineffective information so that way you can walk up to the wrong type of woman and get handed a whole bunch of consequences. Then you're going to go back to the same men that you followed in the first place because you wanted that easy access. And now this is what you're going to have to deal with. That's nobody else's fault but your own, man. That's nobody else's fault but yours. This is their fault. Their fault. Not your fault. Their fault. If you fall into these eventual outcomes, you are to be laughed at. Mightily laughed at. We know who these people are, but it's like, bro, listen. There's no reason to be this stupid. There is no reason. But you have to understand, man, that most of these people, they don't have a life if they can't complain about this woman. They don't have anything. They spent their whole life not being anything. Now the woman don't need them. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? And then you want to drag every single movement. Like, these are the men who destroy every movement. When BGS Itmore and Edward Anderson start promoting your movement is dead. Your movement is dead. You got to seek higher ground. Nobody asked BGS Itmore for his advice or his opinion on anything. No one did that. He did it on his own. But it is a discussion for people who have never made it past the discussion, though. That's why he has to. That's why he has to deny the existence of Manosphere 1.0. If you deny the history and he gets to make up his own history with no pushback, this is what you're gonna get. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Bishop. That's what I'm saying. They don't even get that they're doing that. That's why it takes 6 of those people on the panel to go after one dude. Actually, AB Media and AL Evans don't count because they don't know how to talk to people. But okay, 4 on 1. 4 on 1. 4 on 1. And the only thing they did was just not allow him to answer questions that they asked him. These are the people who want to talk about the community. These are the people who claim that they give a damn about the boys. These are the people. Again, name me a successful man who would turn their child over to one of these people. A successful man who give a damn about his child. Name me a successful man who created a cultured environment for his kid to grow up in. Name me a single man who would turn their kids over deliberately to somebody like this. And not only turn their kids over to somebody like this, turn their kids over to somebody like this to do what? To do what? I mean, you have to understand, man. Like, bro, like they never wanted any progress at any point. They wanted to use as many people as possible to keep this thing going as long as possible. Now the women don't even need these type of dudes anymore. They need the productivity piece more than anything else. That's why they can't stand dudes who's separated. They want dudes to go through the suicide mission and the redemption arc. That's how you end up in that level of arrested development. Going through the suicide mission and the redemption arc. That's how you put yourself anywhere from 15 to 30 years behind, following up around dumb ass people like this. With all the people in the manosphere, you got to be a bold ass individual to say that the manosphere wouldn't be the manosphere without dating coaches and PUAs. That's a bold statement, man. Think about it. Any person raised in a two-parent household is not looking up the Ron Wills, Alan Roger Curry, or Steph is Cold, or anybody else of note. No. The only thing you have to do is pay attention to what the Bravo Alpha November worships as actual answers and be like, oh, okay. If that's the type of person they are, and this is the type of people that they exalt, I could just stay away from all these people. Yeah, you are correct. You are correct. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, dude, listen, man. Most of these dudes want to benefit off of this broken environment, like the other people. They don't have any type of substance or character or principle. What they want to be is they want to be this liberal, laissez-faire, manosphere man who get to do whatever they want to whoever they want to. Of course, Steph is corny as fuck, man. Like nobody really believes that shit, dude. I'm not gonna let somebody proselytize to me to hoes that he can't show me. I don't want to know how hoes think. I don't want to, dude. I don't care about women's justification in those positions. They can't turn you on to decent human being. Their level of actual thought processes, everybody's the same. So I'm gonna pick the worst thing possible. Cause why? They all the same. You don't see these dudes around your city and around your town, man. You don't see them. You don't see them. You do not see them. They are nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. But that's the problem. Everybody want to hide VOA. Is he still around here? Is he still around here? Oh, okay. But that's what we are, man. Like, dude, listen, man. Anybody who's trying to push off on you, what's going on, Quiz and Print? What's going on, Derek McKinney? But you have to understand that they know that they're preying on these people's insecurities. Yes, they're sexual predators. It's just like there is no sex involved, though. What's going on, Nick Barnes? But you guys have got to understand, man, bro. Listen, once you got your money together, man, you can leave all this shit alone. All the way alone. You can leave this shit all the way alone. But yes, access to a temporary woman don't mean shit. It don't mean anything. And then they turn around and complain about the same women that they spent their whole life trying to get access to, destroying every single movement in their way if it does not focus on exalting the very woman that they should have stayed away from in the first place. Again, there is no white man out here who's doing this. There is no government out here who's doing this. These people are doing these things on their own, unprompted, without any help. Say it again. Especially when you got the economics to stay the hell away from this stuff. Yeah. Dude, life is great once you can just wake up and go. These people have to wake up and think about the actual consequences of the actions that they took. It's crazy. This is on these people, man. You do not have to worry about these individuals. You don't have to worry about them. You can easily move past these consequences. It's very easy. At this point, it's super easy. I mean, he's not the only one pushing that type of nonsense, but we don't know yet. We don't know yet. We have to wait till the actual process is over before we actually do anything about it. We have to wait till the text messages are subpoenaed. They have to do a whole investigation. That's gonna take a year. Even with all the facts, it's still gonna take a year. 5 people? Yeah, man, it's gonna take a year. That's why I say start off with second degree. Second degree, you don't need premeditation. No, Bishop, like they still want access to the lowest common denominator woman. They know that having their actual economics together mean that the woman will just move on to another low quality dude. They want to be the low quality dude that she picks. You damn right they already are. You damn right they already are, Derek McKinney. You damn right they already are. But hey, like I said, listen, they have to like. I mean, the police chief already said that he wasn't reckless driving all over the city. There's cameras all over the city. None of that stuff said. I mean, but they're not conservatives. Like they're not conservative like you. They don't have a conservative upbringing that leads to the conservative family, that leads to the picking of a conservative woman, that leads to the conservative outcome. Like they're not that type of conservative. Their type of conservatism only goes as far as complaining about the actual woman that don't want them. They only want to be as conservative as complaining about the outcomes of the actual the black community, which they had no hands in actually ruining and destroying. These are not conservatives. They're preservatives. They're not conservatives. They're preservatives. They're trying to preserve the environment for what it is, even if it takes misleading all the men and making them comfortable at the bottom. Hey, TJ17, man, I'm only putting out this information so that way you can show these people the ultimate level of disdain once you have your shit together. Yeah, yeah. You got something that they want. Like everything else. Once you got something that they want, they interested. You ain't got nothing that they want, they're not interested. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Cause I pick women the same fucking way. She got, yeah, you know what? She want to be able to work within a fucking setup system. Yeah, it got something that I want. They on some nonsense. They ain't got nothing that I want. Nothing wrong with that. That's what they're actually preserving. They are preserving this to be the standard of masculinity. That's what they're preserving. They're preservatives, man. The Bravo preserves. That's what they are, man. The Bravo preserves. You got active duty, you got reservists, and then you have preservists. That's what they are, man. They're like conservationists for the Bravo Alpha November. But that's what we have, folks. The Manosphere apparently was for, and it wouldn't be a Manosphere without PUAs and dating coaches. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. So you can look forward to this old coward being on panels trying to bully younger men into making bad decisions, even though they know better. Did we not start off the live stream with them understanding the history? How could there have been an actual argument with Zulu Gullah if they understood the history? I could tell you why there was an actual disagreement with Zulu Gullah. It's very simple. Zulu Gullah understood the history just like they did. He just decided to do something else. And when you know the history and you do not want to deliberately feed yourself into a broken environment, they have a big problem with you. Come on, bruh. BGS and self improvement? Ha 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 ha. Never gonna happen. That's the problem, man. You want to be right, but you don't want to. You don't want to defend your position. You don't want to defend your position. Your position is garbage, and you know the history, which means you're doing this stuff on purpose. These people are gynocratic double agents. They're doing the very bidding of the women that they claim that they don't want to be around. It was yesterday. Actually, let me put that live stream in the actual chat. Yeah. Arthur Itmore is a proud dumb nigga, so he loves the attention he gets. Most Bravo Alpha Novembers do. What are you gonna do? Come up and argue about it? Please. Man, look, you can book a session anytime you want to. That's the actual link to the live stream. Who's real? Really not any of these people. But that's what the this is the actual live stream. This is the actual live stream. If you want to watch 5 hours of fucking bullshit of failed men talk about what they could have been if it wasn't for them meddling feminism and fucking birth control, which ain't got shit to do with you getting your act together. They know how to duck criticism. They know how to duck MOT. Shit, them dudes ain't stupid. You really think they want to jump on the live stream and have a conversation about progress with me? Hell no. They'll never survive that shit. Duck the fade. Duck the fade, bro. Hey man, the outcomes are not lying. The outcomes never lie. The outcomes never lie. The outcomes never lie. The outcomes. If you sitting here still worried about a woman giving up infinite power so that way you can look like a better man, man, get the fuck out of here. Women, look, keep your infinite bag of dicks. I'm telling you, keep that shit. Do not, do not submit to any one of these clowns. Are you fucking insane? Do you want to be poor? Do you want to be poor? Do you want to be poor? Then by all means, submit to one of these clowns. And you have no problem having more complaints than your ass know what to do with. Listen, you've been holding on to this infinite dick for a while. There is no reason to let that shit go now. You mean to tell me you want to give up infinite dick to fucking deal with one of these motherfuckers? Preposterous. What? I wouldn't advise you to do no shit like that. I wouldn't. This is crazy. Keep that shit. You keep these people out there because we don't need these people procreating. We don't need them. We don't need them procreating. We don't need that. No, leave them out there. Leave them out there. That's what I'm saying, man. Bro, listen. Get your stuff together. Hey, man, listen, you have a lot less shit to worry about. What's going on, Dan Patrick? This is where we at. Hey, man, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to wake up all these dudes before they end up in BGS's Venus flytrap, man. Oh, Ray Alexander. Damn, that's a name I ain't heard in a while. Yeah, that's what it is, man. And over every clone generation, it loses its effectiveness. That's what cloning does. That's why cloning don't work. Because it loses its effectiveness every time you clone some shit. Like like every time you clone a Mago or a Bravo Alpha November, they get weaker and weaker and weaker. Yes. That's what it was meant to do. It was meant to doom the entire populace so that way they could blame women for the shit. That's what it is, man. They got this Bravo raising Bravos thing going on, man. As you should, man. As you should. It's a new generation, man. It's a new generation, man. It's time to own some property. It's time to have better outcomes. It's time to leave problematic people alone, and it's time to stop complaining about women. We got it. We got it. They're not worth it. We got it. Hey, man. TJ 17. We had the era of unnatural selection. Yes, indeed, man. Congrats to the men who travel and get up out of here, see how different stuff works. Congrats to the dudes who go overseas and shut the fuck up about traveling. Congrats to the dudes who go overseas and don't bother fighting the gender war. How you go get out of the country and you still complain about the women that you left 17 hours ago on a flight? How does that work? How does that work? These people ain't a part of our damn group. They came here to sabotage and destroy our damn group. Yes. They want to sabotage every single group that they can't run. They run under every single other group. They came to the Manosphere. They tried SYSBM out, but the SYSBM was an outcome-based thing. So then they ran over to Passport Bros the moment Kevin Samuels died, and they couldn't get their fix in on actually hoping that their Keisha get humbled, so that way they could run in and take over the game. That's what I'm saying, man. Bro, listen, continuously skill up. Shit, I'm in the middle of skilling up myself, doing some different things. Yes. BG Stress Immort says that there can't be no manosphere without PUAs and pickup artists. I think that shit's crazy. I think it's crazy. This dude had the nerve to blame the gynocracy for the Ed Reed situation. That came out of BGS's mouth. He blamed the gynocracy for a woman-based HCBU that fired a black male coach for not going through the proper channels to address his concerns. Again, this is your master teacher. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I'm gonna have to do these master teacher sessions more often. We gotta follow this old dude around like a dog with a pooper scooper, man. You know that green plastic bag that you gotta follow your dog around this dog park with? We gotta do that with BGS Itmore, man. Say it again. Say it again. Listen, man, if you wanted to be on the productivity piece, dude, you would already be there. You would already be there, man. I know a dog park is pretty small, and technically your dog shouldn't be shitting up the place in a small ass square, but you have to follow BGS around, man. Be like, man, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at the shit this old motherfucker done said. Look at this shit. Just look at him go. The great thing is, by having all this information out there, you can't be too dumb about the consequences of some of these actions nowadays. You cannot be too dumb to these actions. Actually, I want your ass laughed at if you keep going through this dumbass shit. Listen, if a dude think that he wants to go in unprotected and have a child with a woman and they ain't supposed to put his dumb ass on child support, man, I don't even know if you can help somebody like that. Man, look, I'm not gonna give my opinion because I'm not even going down that road, man. Because what I want to happen to that dude, I want something very horrific to happen to that dude. Fucking with people. Take your ass over there and shut your fucking mouth while you're over somebody else's shit and get your shit together and keep it together, man. You're not going to be able to ride the fine line of this fucking gender war for the rest of your motherfucking life, man. They always get behind dudes who are out of pocket, man. Like I can't with this shit, man. What the fuck I look like going to Germany and I'm still complaining about American women? The fuck I look like going to Italy or even Southeast Asia, still complaining about American women? Nah, I'm not doing that. What's going on, J. Charles? Why would I do that? Listen, man, I don't I don't talk about the water situation in Mississippi for a reason. I don't fucking live there. I don't live there. So why would I bring it up to a group of people who also can't do shit about the water situation in Mississippi? That's a Mississippi problem. That's a Mississippi state problem that is solved by the actual governor of the state, and they don't want to fix it. So you could take your ass anywhere you want to and complain about those water issues in Mississippi. If you ain't got sense enough to get your ass up out of there and stay your ass up out of there when you have the chance to leave there, then dude, can't nobody help you. Can't nobody help you, man. You have to understand, it's not the women who wanted these dudes not to move forward. The women actually benefit, whether the men do their thing or not. They benefit. Most of these dudes are not traveling. They're not leaving anywhere. 90-some% of these dudes are still gonna be here. So doesn't the environment get better if most people actually got their shit together? Yes. That's why I don't worry about it that much. That's why I go to places where you got to know people to get in, man. I don't want to be around none of these dudes when I go travel. I'm not trying to see none of these motherfuckers when I travel. Maybe there's a handful of dudes, but that's about it, man. Yeah, man. Like the Manosphere is like comfort food, man. Like macaroni and cheese, man. That's what it is, man. Comfort food, man. Like potatoes of any kind serves no purpose. That's all it is, man. A bunch of useless ass fucking carbohydrates, man. That's what I'm saying. Delaware's nice, man. Delaware's nice, man. That's a culture though, man. Like Ray Alexander, man, that's a culture of leadership that has to be created. That's a culture of leadership that has to be created. No, it's one thing. Uh, oh man, it's just this is where we at, man. It's so crazy that they don't have this stuff under control. It's so crazy. It's so crazy that people do not understand how this stuff works. Today, crazy. I don't know. I'm just gonna start cranking up the B-52 and going on strafing runs every time they open their goddamn mouth. They're gonna be out of it soon. Oh yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, man, like they can't be a fake conservative no more. They can't complain about Stacey Abrams. They can't be a conservative even though they haven't said anything about following the law when it came to these cops in Memphis. Like, do they kind of out of everything? You had Jason Whitlock, dumbass, going on TV blaming the black woman for the outcome of what happened in actual Memphis. Like, this is the Manosphere mainstream moment that you wanted? That you wanted to blame black women for shit they're not responsible for? That's what you wanted? You're here now. Jason Whitlock went on Tucker Carlson's show and blamed black women's leadership for the actual outcome of men's behavior. There you go. The Manosphere went mainstream. There you go. I hope you're proud of yourself. Like the people I know, Johnny Blaze, that went into ROTC, man, like they started from the damn school, man. What's going on, AO? They sure did. AO, they sure did. Yeah. He blamed black women's leadership. Yeah, I had the biggest smile on my face looking at my wife like, what the fuck is this dude talking about, man? They didn't check in with no black women before they fucking did that type of stupid shit. If they did, she'd be on accessory charges. Because they don't want the women to be left behind. Well, they concerned trolling these women who don't give a damn about them. These women don't give a damn about what these broke ass motherfuckers who ain't gonna never get their life together are doing, man. They don't care about that. Say it again, Roger Spice. Yeah, man, like the environment has gotten smarter. You're not gonna be able to grift your way through this shit, man. You on record for having a 15-point agenda and not handing it to nobody. You're on record talking about victimhood when you're not a fucking medical doctor. You're on record for that shit, man. You on record for that. And your 15-point agenda came out years ago. Not recently, years ago. So let's sum up the grand plan of BGS Itmore. BGS Itmore wanted to be a fake intellectual, getting all this fake respect. What's going on, Wild School Joe? But dude, people didn't see how bad Jason Whitlock was the entire time. Every time it came to some racial based shit, they would go get Jason Whitlock to say the shit on TV. Nah, it won't. It won't. It won't discourage you, Guy King. Unfortunately, it will not. That dude understood black issues and black issues of the black community more than he did. But see, but see, Destiny advanced the conversation in a way that they couldn't stop the conversation for advancing because they came to his panel. Like, we've been having this conversation in this space for a while. I'm talking about like the decent brothers within this space. Like the Mago class would never allow the conversation to advance that much. But they was willing to advance the conversation because it was a big platform. And they thought that because they went on a big platform, it didn't matter how they looked. It was the fact that they stood up to a quote unquote liberal. Nah, man. Nah, bro. You come up and you discuss substantive based issues, you're gonna get destroyed. That's what happens. What are we gonna do with this disaster teacher, man? How many live streams are you gonna gentrify if it isn't Edwards, if it isn't Arts, if it isn't Art of Itmore, wherever you go, to gentrify and stupefy every conversation that you talk about? How many places you going to go to destroy our credibility? There's not a single 60-year-old individual who would want to be actually be around you. There's no 60-year-old who want to be around you, man. But but they wanted to go off the dome, man. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to go off the dome. Like, they don't understand that once you wall yourself off from actual all criticism, it makes your arguments very weak. Doesn't make your arguments strong, man. It makes your arguments very weak. Why you think I was here? I was here to challenge your actual arguments. And if you couldn't defeat me, how you gonna defeat him? That dude treated Angry Man like a fucking Swiffer, man. Yeah. Bro, listen, I would never tolerate this shit in my personal life, bro. Nah, bro. You gotta show me where the money coming in at. Because if the money ain't coming in a way that's legitimate, the money's going to be going out in a very illegitimate fashion. And probably from my productive ass. Because I don't know what around here that your ass can steal, but they know what they can steal better than you can. Shang the second. Destiny. So that's where we at, folks. I am here to destroy every single talking point that they can ever hide behind. Trust me. You say some more bullshit, I'm gonna fire up another live stream and I'm gonna destroy that talking point. And that talking point. Because you ain't got nothing left. There's nothing else left for you, sir. There's nothing else left for you. Nothing. Nothing else left. Except for all these broken boys that you want to turn right back into the gynocracy, man. It's cool, man. Just come out and say it, man. You're a whole gynocrat, man. You were the entire time. Oh, bro. It was embarrassing for him. It was an L for him. Him and his platinum plaque or gold plaque. It was an L for him. Now you have to go the rest of your life knowing that that live stream is still up. What? What did he go to debate him on? What did he go and debate him on? All right, man. Let me let y'all in on a secret. If you don't have a side, or if you're in the middle, don't debate somebody who has a side taken. And not only black problems, avoidable black problems. Avoidable black problems. Everything that he talked about could have been avoided. And he was talking about his own personal circumstance. Like 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 TANF checks and shit, man. Like that dude has custody of his child. That dude doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about. About picking the wrong woman and going through all these circumstances over the shit. Yeah, like man, look, I'm gonna have to see that shit. I'm gonna have to see that. I don't. All right, man. I'm gonna have to see that. Come on, man. That dude's capable of having a conversation. He's capable of having a conversation. He is. But you have to understand, man. Listen, man. If you don't bring substance to a conversation, you're gonna be out of your element pretty goddamn quick. I know full well not to debate nobody from the military industrial complex when it comes to foreign policy. I'm not fucking stupid. Why would I debate somebody whose whole life is based on intelligence and most of the shit I don't even know about? Those are the only conservatives that I would not debate. Is foreign policy conservatives. There's no need to debate them. They are substantive based. They may use a whole bunch of bullshit in order to keep their actual points of view. I don't know how you try to use the red pill like that. I don't know, man. That seems kind of weird. Seems kind of weird. But the dude is no pushover, man. Dude, he's debated Jordan Peterson and a whole bunch of people, man. You're just not gonna walk in there with this off the dome ass shit and be able to get your shit off, man. You're gonna look crazy after a while. Because the conversation is going to loop back to substance, and you don't know how to have a substantive conversation. Yes, they went to him to complain about the woman that they chose. They complained about the woman that they chose to a dude who had no idea that these people were this fucking stupid. To complain to him about an issue that they base their whole masculinity around. But hey, when you're a sociopath, dude, you don't give a damn about what people have to say. You don't give a damn about any of that stuff. You don't care. What you care about is how this stuff can be used for their bottom line. Outside of that, it don't even matter. It is, man. You can't let one out of pocket clout chasing shine who's gonna get his ass fucked up, and I'm here for it. You can't let that dude discourage you from going other places, man. Especially when he kept breaking down the actual numbers of court cases every time he brought some shit up, destroyed him. Listen, man, over 95% of your outcomes is based on the people who you associate with. And 5% of those people you're not going to be able to move anyway. But there's plenty of wiggle room where you can still be successful and productive within those things. All right, man, let me get up out of here. I want to make sure that this thing was substantive as possible. But you got to start the conversation off with the fact that they know what they know what the history is. But then they act like they don't know what the history is. The moment that a person moves them toward a solution that isn't dealing with the problem, that's how you get this particular problem. When you have people who do not want to move to a solution, this is what you're going to have.